In the annals of human history, few tales have captivated our collective imagination as profoundly as that of Atlantis, a fabled island civilization shrouded in mystery and myth. To trace its origins, we must journey back to ancient Greece, where the philosopher Plato first introduced this enigmatic world in his dialogues Timaeus and Critias. Written around 360 BCE, these works weave together philosophy, politics, and storytelling, presenting what many believe could be one of the most compelling historical accounts ever recorded. Plato describes Atlantis as an extraordinary realm located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, modern-day Strait of Gibraltar, existing some 9,000 years before his time. This advanced society was renowned for its wealth, technological prowess, and architectural splendor. Its people lived harmoniously under a sophisticated system of governance, their lives guided by wisdom and virtue. However, over time, greed and corruption crept into their hearts, leading them astray from divine favor. As punishment, the gods unleashed cataclysmic earthquakes and floods, causing the entire island to sink beneath the waves in a single day and night of misfortune. But how did Plato come to know of such a distant and mysterious place? According to his own account, the story originated with Solon, a revered Athenian statesman who traveled to Egypt around 600 BC, 240 years before Plato's time. During his visit to the city of Sais, Solon engaged in discussions with Egyptian priests, who spoke of a powerful civilization that had once waged war against early Athens, but was ultimately destroyed in a great disaster. The priest said to Solon, "You, Solon, are one of those Greeks who are always seeking knowledge, but you know very little about your own ancient history," said the priest. "Oh, Solon, you Hellenes are never anything but children, and there is no old opinion handed down among you by ancient tradition, nor any science which is hoary with age. And I will tell you why. There have been, and will be again, many destructions of mankind arising out of many causes. The greatest have been brought about by the agencies of fire and water, and other lesser ones by innumerable other causes. There is a story which has been preserved in our temples, how once upon a time your state stayed the course of a mighty war. It was preeminent in courage and military skill, and was the leader of the Hellenes. And when the rest fell off from her, being herself invaded by barbarians through the agency of floods and earthquakes, she defeated and triumphed over the invaders. And after that, when she had united the greater part of Greece under one rule, she set forth to liberate the cities of the plain of what is now called the Atlantic Ocean. But at a later time there occurred portentous earthquakes and floods, and one grievous day and night befell them, when the whole body of your warriors was swallowed up by the earth, and the island of Atlantis in like manner was swallowed up by the sea and vanished. Wherefore also the ocean at that spot has now become impassable and unsearchable, being blocked and choked up by the mud which the island created as it settled down. Imagine a city shaped like perfect rings, each encircled by glistening waters, bathed in golden sunlight. At its heart stood a magnificent temple, gleaming with gold and silver, dedicated to Poseidon, the mighty god of the sea. This was Atlantis, a paradise of wisdom, courage, and prosperity, where rulers, said to be descendants of Poseidon himself, governed with fairness and justice. At the very center of the city lay the Grand Temple, a sacred place where reason ruled. Here, wise leaders gathered, seeking truth and justice, much like philosophers in search of wisdom. This was the soul of Atlantis, a place where knowledge shaped decisions, and fairness was the foundation of law. Beyond the temple, lush gardens and barracks formed the middle rings of the city. This was the realm of spirit, where warriors trained with honor and bravery, ready to defend their homeland. Their courage was the force that upheld Atlantis' strength, ensuring that justice was not just an ideal, but a reality. On the outermost rings, the city bustled with life. Busy ports, grand markets, and endless feasts. This was the realm of desire, where traders, farmers, and merchants chased wealth and luxury. Here, prosperity flourished, but it was also where temptation lurked, waiting to tip the balance of harmony. For generations, Atlantis thrived. Its people lived in balance, each force, wisdom, courage, and desire, working together like the gears of a well-crafted machine. But as time passed, things began to change. Over time, the rulers grew hungry for more. They turned away from the wisdom of the temple and let their desires take control. The pursuit of wealth and power overshadowed justice and virtue. The once noble warriors, protectors of the city, became conquerors, spreading war and arrogance across the lands. The gods watched in sorrow and fury. The balance had been broken. To restore order, they sent great earthquakes and towering waves. In a single fateful day and night, Atlantis was swallowed by the sea. Its gold, its gardens, its glory, all lost beneath the waves. But its story was not erased. It became a lesson, whispered through the ages. No soul, no city can survive when desire and ambition crush wisdom. The secret meaning, Atlantis is you. Plato's tale was never just about a lost civilization. Atlantis is a reflection of the human soul. Deep within each of us, three forces battle for control. Reason, the temple your inner wisdom, guiding you toward what is right. Spirit, the warriors your courage, your willpower, your sense of justice. Desire, the markets your longing for wealth, pleasure, and comfort. When these forces are in harmony, we thrive. But when desire takes over, when we chase money without morals or power without purpose, our own inner Atlantis begins to crumble. The ocean that swallowed the city? That's the darkness inside us when we forget who we truly are. How to save your Atlantis. Plato's story is a warning. Do not let greed sink your soul. To keep your Atlantis afloat, let wisdom lead. Pause before you act. Ask yourself, is this fair? Is this kind? Tame your desires. Enjoy life's pleasures, but don't let them control you. Too much luxury can drown joy. Use courage wisely. Stand up for what is right, but do not fight just to feed your pride. Why Atlantis still matters. Look at the world today. Our societies have their own rings, temples of reason, schools, books, and the search for truth. Gardens of courage, heroes, leaders, and those who fight for justice. Outer chaos, endless shopping, pollution, and the stress of wanting more. Plato's whisper reaches us through time. Balance is everything. If greed and pride rule, our world, like Atlantis, will crack. But if we choose wisdom, we will find harmony. The last light of Atlantis. The city may be gone, but its lesson remains. Every time we walk away from unnecessary conflict, share instead of hoard, or choose kindness over anger, we rebuild Atlantis within ourselves. The gods will not send another flood. It is up to us to rise or fall. So guard your temple, train your courage, enjoy life's feast, but do not feast blindly. Atlantis sank, but its light still shines in every soul that chooses wisdom over greed. Plato's tale is not about a city lost beneath the sea. It is about you. Will you let your soul sink, or will you let it soar?